Hi YouTube, welcome to another edition of Horror Hounds, and for this video I'm going to be going through 5 horror movies that'll keep you awake at night. Recently I've covered scary movies, I've covered disturbing movies, and these 5 movies are kind of similar in that fashion, but these are the ones that linger in the mind after I've switched the movie off, after I've turned the lights off, and when you're trying to go to bed. They just kind of play on your mind and make you question things and make you sort of overthink what you've seen and how they played out. So 5 pretty effective movies in that sense. In fact, one of them might not even be considered a horror film, but really has that kind of unnerving factor to it. So anyway, we'll get straight into it. Here's the 5 movies that, in my opinion and in my experience, will keep you awake at night. First movie on the list is The Borderlands from 2013, a disquietingly realistic found footage movie which sees these 2 representatives of the church travelling out to this church in the Scottish countryside to investigate and potentially prove or disprove whether there's some supernatural goings on there. The resident priest has reported and shown footage of some paranormal activity, and these 2 guys are sort of trying to get to the bottom of it. And this one, first of all, it's set in a really creepy looking church. You get a sense of unease whenever the scenes take place within that building, and you definitely get the sense that something is not quite right, and over the course of the film it becomes more and more apparent. The countryside and everything, that side of things is absolutely beautiful, but you definitely get this unwavering sense of dread just generally in the air when you watch The Borderlands. And then the ending of this film, which I won't give away, just becomes real full on and somewhat raises more questions than what it answers, but by the end of the movie you're in no doubt that you're in very scary territory, and that just kind of that whole surfacing feeling of things not quite being right, and then the hard-hitting ending just really stick with you and kind of make you wonder what was really going on within that building. And it hits quite close to home as well. It takes place in, as I say, in the countryside, and I do a lot of walking like that, and I'm quite an outdoorsy person, and it just makes me wonder what other churches and buildings are harbouring this sinister evil whenever I venture out there. And yes, this is definitely one that stayed in my mind when I was trying to get to bed. So first movie on the list is The Borderlands. Next up we have Late Mongo from 2008, a pseudo-documentary type film which sees this family, and the daughter was killed in this really creepy Lake Mungo location, and ever since her death they've been experiencing strange occurrences and things that they can't quite explain. So they brought in this documentary crew and like these parapsychologists to sort of investigate what's going on. And this is just one of the most creepiest movies that I've seen, whether it comes to the strange events leading up to the girl's death. You're not too sure what kind of happened there. That raises a lot of questions, plays on your mind a little bit, down to kind of the haunting things that go on in the house. That's really scary as well and gets under your skin. And Late Mungo is a very clever one because it kind of offers you things and presents kind of cryptic clues and scary images in the background that you might not even notice first time you watch it. Definitely worth going back. You can kind of see sort of strange figures in way off in the background that you might not have noticed, and it just makes you feel really creeped out when you realise you're watching this documentary and it was kind of all there in front of you, albeit in the shadows, as you're watching this thing. It's just got a really strange feel and a strange vibe to it. It's kind of all there, but you can't quite connect the dots in terms of what happened to the girl and why these strange things are happening. Really effective film, and it's one that I found myself musing over rather uncomfortably often on a dark night. So yeah, second movie on the list is Late Mungo. Next movie on the list, and this one might raise some eyebrows. People might not consider this to be a horror film. But next movie up is Picnic at Hanging Rock from 1975. What looks like a beautiful, summery, dreamlike movie is actually one that has troubled me many a night. Set in the year 1900, this follows a outing at a really prestigious all-girls school, and they go for a picnic at Hanging Rock. And during their time there, a couple of the girls and one of the school teachers disappears without a trace, and they're never found again. And it's more about the aftermath of this school and how it affects people, and just the lingering feelings of what actually happened that day at Picnic Rock. And there's a few people that witness things here and there. Nothing quite provides anything all that solid as to what happened to the girls and the school teacher. And Picnic at Hanging Rock, as beautiful as it is just really troubling in that it doesn't hold your hand at all. It answers none of the questions that it raises. Very dreamlike, very ethereal in its approach. And I think it's kind of its lack of sort of linear narrative and its refusal to really give you anything solid to go on in terms of a logical premise as to what happened on that day is why it's so effective. You can't quite comprehend it or put things together, and it sort of goes against kind of us as humans wanting to put things in their logical place. And yeah, it's one that really stayed with me for a long time, and it's one of those films that just has a strange feel to it. There's nothing quite like Picnic at Hanging Rock in terms of just the feelings and the just sort of the confusion and the mystery that this one dwells up. I think it's a really quietly effective movie. And yeah, one that, yeah, even now, not seen it for a long time, but I still kind of, my mind will reluctantly trot back to Hanging Rock and just think, what is that place all about? So next movie on the list is Picnic at Hanging Rock. Next movie on the list is Shuttle from 2008. A movie that I never hear anyone talk about, but boy does this have a gut punch of an ending. I'm not going to give it away, I'll just give you a bit of information on this one because more people should check this one out. This one is these two girls, they're on the way home from somewhere and they catch a shuttle bus, but it's the wrong bus, and they end up in the hands of some sinister kidnappers. And the majority of the movie is them sort of trying to hatch an escape to get off the bus and to get away from these perpetrators. It's a difficult film to watch in the sense that they try numerous things to escape, and they get close and then they don't manage it, and it just, yeah, it really sort of keeps you on tenterhooks. It's an uncomfortable film to get through, and admittedly some of it you kind of see yourself in the same situation and think, you know, I could have easily escaped by just doing that. You have to kind of suspend that disbelief for a little bit. But it's an effective film. It's a tightly put together, taut, scary movie, you know, of ending up in the hands of these sinister kidnappers. Quite high octane in places. But the ending, which again I won't reveal, but the ending of this movie is like, wow. It kind of takes it and ramps up the concept of this to like an even higher and more sinister level, and it's like, wow, it's a real kind of downbeat, depressing kind of ending. I didn't see it coming, but it's just like, oh my goodness, very kind of sort of nihilistic, I would say. This is not a happy movie at all. So don't set yourself in for something like that. But gotta give them credit. It was a great twist ending that just kind of really amped up everything else that had gone on in the film. And yeah, as I say, not going to give it away, but it's like, wow, your mind really does wonder where things are going next in terms of the movie. But you know, you don't know because it ends where it ends. But yeah, like I say, I don't hear many people talking about Shuttle, and I can't say it's the most rewarding watch, but it was pretty well done in a lot of places, and boy, that ending. So yeah, next movie on the list is Shuttle. And the last movie on the list, and boy is this the big one, the movie that has kept me awake for many a night, is The Vanishing from 1988. This one, I can't say too much about this. This is just one of those movies where if you know, you know. In this one, we see a couple, they're travelling. It's a French movie. They're travelling and the girl gets abducted by someone and she's never seen again. The movie jumps forward about 2 or 3 years in the future, and the boyfriend's still kind of looking for her. He's still campaigning to try and find her, but he never has. And the abductor gets in touch with him and says, you know, I'm the guy that abducted her. I will let you know what's happened to her, but you have to agree to meet me. And I won't go any further with that, but it's, you know, it's kind of, you know, what would you do in that situation? For 3 years, you've wanted to know what happened to this woman. This is your chance, but it's obviously going to come with a price, and boy, does it come with a price. And yeah, out of all these movies, The Vanishing, I haven't seen it for a long time, and I still find this one worming itself into my head on many a dark night as I'm trying to get to sleep. This has an absolutely horrifying ending. I would suggest if you're going to watch this movie, don't look it up, don't read anything about it. It will lessen the shock value and will kind of render it a bit pointless to watch. I'd also say avoid the American remake. That was given a happy ending fit for Hollywood. But the original, The Vanishing from 1988, oh my goodness, this movie will stay with you. So be prepared. So yeah, last movie on this list is The Vanishing. So there you go, guys. So there's 5 movies that certainly kept me awake at night. Let me know what you think of that. Am I being a big wuss? Let me know. And let me know what movies kept you awake. I'd love to know. So thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.